Hey everybody, welcome to our weekend check-in video for WSTS-47 Intro to LGBTQ Studies for Saturday, October 22nd. Just going to go over a few reminders, clarifications, anything I think you need to know to do well in the course, so let's get started. First up is I did post the scores earlier this week for your quiz 8.1 there, so make sure that you did take a look at that there. I know some of you took it late, so your scores have been posted. And just a reminder, as I said in lecture this week, that your second quiz on Chapter 8, quiz 8.2 as I call it, that's going to be this coming Tuesday on the 25th, pardon me, so make sure that you prepare for that. You'll take that in your small groups as always. Next up here is just a reminder, a heads up that your interview paper, and I posted an announcement about this recently, your interview paper is coming up a week from this coming Tuesday on November 1st, so make sure that you have that prepared and you're working on that there. Remember, you can interview anybody who has a queer self-identification. There can be another student in the class, somebody you work with, someone from family there. I have complete instructions there in that interview module, which you'll find there on our Canvas course page. Just keep scrolling down and you'll see a module for the interview paper. There are 5 interview questions you need to ask, 4 of which I've already written for you, and just ask them verbatim and document your participants' responses there. But you also have to write a 5th question of your own. You just have to tell me what that question is. And in addition to those 5 interview questions, you are going to see you also have to complete 3 summary questions as well. So these are things I want you to examine from your interview and write me a little set of remarks about regarding 3 particular areas about what happened in your interview. So please make sure that you don't forget to do that part there. And I also need you to cite at least one thing from the book that supports something you found in your interview. That's all in the instructions there, so please do check that out there. Next up here, and by the way, you are going to submit the interview paper online. In that interview paper module, you'll see a dedicated submission area, which is clearly labeled a submission area to upload your paper. It must be in Microsoft Word, so make sure it's in Word, so no PDFs or Google Docs there. All of you have free access to Office 365. On any Canvas course page, you'll see a link for Office 365, so you can use Word to go ahead and submit it there. And there is a late policy for submitting your paper late there, so it's 10% deduction if it's late. It's 5% for every 24-hour period after that, and then after 72 hours, the submission area locks out, and you won't be able to upload your paper at all. That final deadline will be Friday, November 4th, so make sure that you get it in by that time there, okay? And again, you are going to upload your Word file to the submission area. You are not going to email that to me. This is all in the instructions there, so do be careful to examine that there. Next up here is that next week, we are going to go ahead and finish off on Tuesday the rest of Chapter 8 there, and notably we are going to cover children's books. That's apparently caused quite a bit of uproar, at least for some. And you get to see what all the fuss is about, because I've got lots of books I want to be passing around, and I want you to see for yourself if you think these books are kind of like too hot for children to handle, of special age there, so we'll take a look at that. And then on Tuesday and on Thursday, we're going to be working into Chapter 9. Really interesting stuff. It's all about the visual representations, the visual arts. We discovered in Chapter 8 the written representations, the written word, poetry, and books and novels, etc. But now it's time to take a look at some visual representations in the arts, notably here paintings, illustrations, photography. Notably, we're going to take a look at there plays on stage, because you can see those, really interesting stuff. And also, importantly, all the backlash that's been experienced by queer artists because of this. We saw what happened to poor Oscar Wilde and Radcliffe Hall because they dared to cover queer content or had queer lives, and so we're going to see some of that again with all these folks that are visual artists. So it's really interesting stuff, and I imagine some of you have heard about some of these visual arts, including physique pictorials, the old muscle mags we're going to talk about, which is really fun stuff. But we will do all that next week there, just giving you a heads up. So fun stuff to come. It's always fun to see things, because you book authors have some illustrations there, but I've got lots of great images I found on the internet there to show you what they're talking about in some of these descriptions in the book, because it's kind of hard to see it if they don't actually have a picture of it. So I really did work hard to kind of curate that material for you so you can really see something and really experience things for yourself. Okay, that's everything I wanted to say for this weekend video. I hope you're having a good weekend, so I will see you in class next week. If you have any questions in the meantime, please reach out via email on Canvas, and I'll be glad to get back to you. So I will I'll see you next week. Take care until then. Bye-bye.